Welcome, Cassandra.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Singing intro. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Please tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So, my name is Cassandra Carson, and I am a musician. I sing and play guitar for a couple different bands. I've got Paralandra, which has been around for almost about 11 years at this point. And then also the Life Project, which is a collaboration with Josh Rand of Stone Sour. And I've been doing that since 2020. And do special guest appearances on other people's tracks. I do studio work. I've got an album coming out with George Lynch later this year. So yeah, overall, all around, I'm a musician.
Yes. Ooh, George Lynch album. That sounds fun. We need
Oh
some
yeah.
that. Oh yeah. And yeah, okay, great. And what would you say, like, for Paralandra? You're it's like, you're fronting it, you're playing guitar, you're singing. Can you sort of describe to people a little bit about that band, what they sound like and everything?
So Paralandra, we call ourselves hard rock. We're super influenced by a lot of like the 80s classic rock stuff. Like my dad is the guitar player in Paralandra. So his influences very much are my influences. So Van Halen, Extreme, White Lion, Steve Vai, like all of these just guitar gods is kind of what I grew up on. So we have a lot of those elements, but then I also am really into like pop music. I like a lot of modern rock. So we've kind of got like a lot of heavy elements, but we've got a lot of melodic sing-along type elements. Put them all together and you get Paralandra.
That's so cool that you and your dad are both playing guitar in that band. Family affair. It's
It's so
very
much fun.
unique. Oh yeah, and then you can kind of make him do extra stuff for you, like carry stuff, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, we all definitely carry our equal parts in loading in and loading out, but
Oh,
sometimes I do have to do my makeup before the show. So
right. Yeah. I'm just thinking I would totally be like acting like I couldn't pick stuff up. So,
sorry, guys. Yeah, I got to tend to the face right now.
yeah. With that background in mind, when did you first realize that you loved rock and metal music so much that you wanted to be a part of creating more of it?
Man, it's always been part of my life, like music in general. I've always watched my dad play in whether it was like the church band or a cover band, or he's had original bands throughout the years. It's always just kind of like been part of my life. And I always admired his stage presence and his guitar playing and just thought like it was the coolest thing ever that I had like this rock star dad. But I guess I got my first guitar when I was 11 years old. Decided I wanted to try to play as well. And a couple years later, I had learned the song Hotel California and like learned all the harmony parts with him. And then I actually learned the entirety of the outro solo. And on a Cinco de Mayo, when I was 13, his cover band was playing at Qdoba. And I got to special guest with them and play Hotel California. And it was like, I know, what a buildup. It
Wait,
was a life-changing experience.
but you were 14, right?
I was 13, yeah.
13. I mean, honestly, that would be insane
It
to
was a huge crowd, okay? Like
yeah.
they had this huge tent and like people were going crazy. Like it was a pretty big event. And it was like I think my second time ever guesting with them. The first time I had played Walk This Way by Aerosmith, but like this time was just kind of like way different. It was way more energy. And I nailed the solo, felt like I just did
Yes.
the best job I could have done. And like everybody was going crazy. People were like tipping me. And I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing forever for the rest of my life. And literally, I've never stopped chasing that.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a dragon to chase right there because I can only imagine being 13 and people like paying you tips because you just like aced the solo of this classic rock song.
Right.
This is definitely the best answer to that question I've ever had. I love this story so much. If I ever write a
Thank you.
fictional novel of like the girl that decided to go for it, like I'm gonna have to steal your story. I'll
Go
change
for it.
I
I
could change
mean,
some details. Like it could be at like what's that place? Oh gosh. It's almost like Qdoba, but it's like TGI Fridays, Applebee's. It would be at
Applebee's. Yeah, there you go.
because I can imagine like at Qdoba, like do they serve alcohol? Like do they have margaritas and stuff?
I feel like they did that night. I don't know
Yeah.
if in general, but that night things were wild.
I love this story so much. Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was pretty fun.
That is
So
a good
that's really what started it all. I've never looked back.
Yeah, like I said, that's a dragon to chase because that is a high for like when you're 13. All right. All right. I'm good. I'm good. I can ask the next question now. So, if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about?
Whoa. It would be some kind of drama with about some relationship and like there would be ups and downs of this relationship and betrayals and heartbreak and there would be realizations and there would be motivation and overcoming and there would be love and yeah, lots of cool things.
Okay.
I guess.
The full story arc. All right. Now, is it like a film noir or is it like 80s kung fu or is it like 70s horror?
Ooh, I mean, based on our song lyrics, I feel like it would be a little bit more on the serious side. But like when you think of Paralandra, I mean, our music videos are ridiculous. So it might end up being some kind of like kung fu, like overdubbed, the mouth doesn't match the words, like type movie. You never know.
Honestly, I am inspired because like 4 days ago we released our first music video and I'm like watching it and I'm like, I didn't really do a good job like mouthing the words, I think. And but you know what? What a great idea to just do it like really bad, like it's dubbing. Oh my,
Intentionally bad.
brilliant. Because I was already gonna be like making Muppets for the next one because I was like, that's our vibe. We're just really campy. We're just campy proggy metal. And like I was like, we need Star Wars space Muppets now. Need to dub badly.
Dude,
Wow, thank you
yes.
for the
That's a
challenge.
great idea.
Okay, I love this story. All right, but what is the big boss battle at the end of the movie?
Ooh. It would be an alien invasion, I think. And I think the four of us would have to use our guitar playing, bass playing, and drumming and singing superpowers to defeat said aliens.
Oh, I love it. Just like make their heads explode with like jello.
Absolutely. Yeah, everywhere. Like the
Honestly,
world was black and white before this, the heads explode and everything's in color.
I'm never gonna film a music video without talking to you about it first, going forward.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
We love brainstorming music videos. We've got plenty of ideas. I don't know if they're all good, but we've got ideas.
It's better than making the same old thing, okay? So,
Absolutely.
if you could collect any three vinyl records of all time, what would you like to have?
Ooh. Well, my first thought was the Beatles. I'm not really much of a record collector. No reason in particular. I just am not. But I love the Beatles and I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to have like maybe a first edition vinyl of theirs. Like that would be really cool and historic. Same thing like maybe with the Van Halen album. I don't know.
That would be epic.
What's the third one? I'm trying to think. Uh Dang, I don't know. I give you two. There's probably multiple albums within both.
That's the question is, yeah, you can always tell me later when we're brainstorming like alien Muppet explosions. All right.
Cool.
So, if you could play your next tour with any three bands live today, who would you like to have? And is there any festival you would like to play most of all?
Yes. Okay. So I would love to play with the Foo Fighters, Alter Bridge, and Jalusic.
Hmm.
And I would Where would I play? I would really love to play in Brazil somewhere. I don't really know like the festivals that they have. I should probably research so that I can manifest
I'm gonna
properly. But
I'm wait. I'm gonna put you in touch with my friend Lorraine Lewis that sings for Vixen because they are always doing stuff in Brazil. So she will
oh,
know. She'll have your answer. And then
please do because we're actually playing with Vixen in July.
oh, perfect.
So
Where are
yeah.
you playing with them?
What was that?
Where will you be playing with them?
We were playing at Spirit Mountain Casino in Grand Ronde, Oregon
Got
on
it.
July 13th.
The
And
casino?
it's with Vixen and Lita Ford.
Oh, that is gonna be so much fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
all those girls are gonna know all the Brazil spots. And also those Pacific Northwest casinos are kind of amazing.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, they're just like some of them, I don't know about all of them, but some of them are very remote in these gorgeous locations. They kind of look like the hotel from The Shining.
Ooh, I
So,
like.
and then one other thing is, can you hold your nails up to the camera because I can see that you have something going on there. What's
Yes.
that? What does it
So
say?
my neighbor is about to graduate from Paul Mitchell School and she's
Oh,
been practicing on my nails. And
yeah.
so she decided to do
Cassandra.
some Paralandra nails.
Yay! Oh, great day for those.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so that is so amazing. And Lorraine is the nicest person on the face of the planet. I love her so much. So you're gonna have a great time. Have a martini with her
Can't
for
wait.
me. Uh,
Okay.
and then looking back, what was a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
A big decision that turned out to be a great choice was the Ingve Malmsteen tour in 2019. This was a really big decision because we bought onto that tour, which means that we paid to play all of the shows.
Hmm.
So this was by far the most amount of money that we had ever spent. And I don't want to like go into details or anything, but it was a very massive investment for us.
Hmm.
And so it was a really big deal. And we weren't sure if it was worth it. We're like really going into the hole on this, but is it gonna generate anything? And honestly, it was probably the best thing that we have ever done for this band. We've since made our money back, so that's great. Monetarily speaking, it was worth it. But we were able to hit like 40 cities across the US that we have never played before on that tour. We got in front of fans that would have never heard of us, and people maybe they heard us on the radio, but never saw us live, so they never really like got hooked.
Hmm.
We really had that opportunity to get in front of these people and to say, here's who we are, and like if you want, come on this journey with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was amazing. It was the best thing we could have done, and we had so much fun. There were so many horrific memories from that tour, but there are so many good ones too.
That's so cool. It's so daring of you to try that because there's so much poo-pooing of buying onto tours or other things that have participation fees or even like fees to apply for things coming from like a fine arts background. Like you gotta pay to play, not pay to play, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta play to win. And you gotta play. You gotta play if you want to win. And so yeah, super interesting to like meet somebody who tried it and like it was a success. And yeah, I have like a lot more questions about that. Like, how did you learn of that opportunity, for example?
Well, we had a management slash like record label exec that had been helping us. His name's Chris Bianchi, and he owns CB Entertainment as well as Legend Recordings, which we're under. We've been doing our releases through since, I don't know, 2015, 16. So I think just one random day, I was like, Chris, like, we really want to get on a tour. We want to get on the road. Like, we've been doing X, Y, and Z, but I feel like this is the one thing we haven't really done.
Yeah.
um what have you got? And he was like, well, I've actually got a couple things. I got this one tour with Yinghui Malmsteen. And I'm like, Yingwei, what? And he was like, I wasn't even going to tell you guys about it because I hadn't heard of him. And like, it was an obscene amount of money to buy on. And I was like, oh, well, just humor me. Like, how much? And he told me, and I was like, okay, well, if that's actually like an opportunity, like, let's just sit with this. Let's think about it and see if this could potentially pay off. And the more that we thought about it and prayed about it, we were like, I think that this really could be beneficial in the long run. So we went ahead and started making some phone calls and, doing what we needed to do to make that happen. And 2 months later, we were on the road.
Wow. And then, whoa, so interesting. God, you got like some serious ovaries, girl. Like amazing. To I
I
mean,
do my best.
it starts with the Qdoba, was it right? Qdoba.
Yep.
That was daring. And then like this daring too. Wow, I'm so impressed. Living alive. You are alive. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah. And wow. What else do I want to ask about this Ingve thing? I mean, like how much time did they give you to decide?
Uh, like none. I mean, 2 days. Like, I mean, it was just so crazy. And we had a close friend that was our investor for this. And so he was kind of like, is this legit? This seems like, we need this amount of money so soon. And like, this could be like a prince in Africa. And like, is this legit? And, it ended up being 100% legit and it was well worth it. And yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. I mean, another parallel to the fine arts world is like you see people at these super big art fairs like Art Basel Miami, and most people pay a fee to be there because like the venue holding the event like has a price, and then the galleries are basically splitting that price up, and then the galleries will also sometimes split up their booth for artists, and it's like a way for new emerging artists to get into these humongous opportunities. um and so like you go and you think everything is like, I don't know, like it's like impossible to be there, and it's really not. It's just about like, taking chances. And I mean, I learned all of that from a friend of mine who did the Luxembourg Art Fair, and I was like, "Oh, there's always another way to do things." So that's super
Yeah.
cool. And they can totally pay off. And some people, that's I guess just really scary to gamble.
Yeah. And also, like, we were all holding down full-time slash part-time jobs at that time. So, we also had to make the decision to leave work for 3 months. And are we going to have a job when we come back? And, for my dad, especially, I mean, like, he's in his 50s, or at that time he was 50. And it's like, okay, like, he's got to leave his full-time job that he's had for 20 plus years to go on tour with his daughter. Like, I just feel like that's a kind of a massive decision, like, so it was very risky. And I understand why people get to that point and they're like, you know what, like, I would rather be safe and like secure in my home. That totally makes sense. Probably more logical sense. But I don't know. I've been a risk taker my whole life, and I've felt very bored with the regular 9 to 5. And I find a lot more joy in my life just living day to day and doing what I want each day.
Wow.
So
Girl,
making it work.
I hope all my rock goddesses watch this episode. This is like such amazing messages that you're giving. I love that.
Thanks.
I love that. I've definitely made a couple of gambles in my life, and honestly, all of them turned out like super fun and unforgettable. So whatever. I'm
That's
gonna
awesome.
I'm gonna risk it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you're inspiring me. You're another level. So cool. Oh, I wonder how this conversation is gonna change my life, honestly. Um,
Wow. Well, let me know.
yeah. So
Happy to be a step in the journey.
yeah, I'm like, oh, look at this. You could do it this way too. So what's your favorite gear and your favorite stage wear?
Ooh, well, my favorite gear would be PRS guitars paired with Friedman amps. I play a Runt 50 full stack, and then I will play either my PRS CE24. I've got a PRS S2 single cut that's in this limited edition green crackle. I call it my green meanie, and like people love it. It's like an icon of the band, I feel like. And then I've got an Ibanez S770. It's a poplar burl, like natural finish. And that's actually my first self-bought guitar, and I still tour with it and I still use it all the time. I love it. So that's my main arsenal. And then I also use an M80 effects unit. Just because I've tried to play the pedal board game and it's just way too much to keep up with, and there's too many new things always coming out. And anyway, I just like to keep it simple, and like, you know, I'm also singing at the same time, so the least amount of tap dancing is the best. um so yeah.
That's funny enough that I literally slapped my niece.
Yes.
I know that it is. I mean, it's like until like to all the fans of Paralandra watching this, you must attempt at home to sing a song while you also play a guitar or pick something up. I don't know, try to um like put your like dishes away and seriously sing a song, and then you'll know how hard it is to be singing and playing guitar at the same time. I mean, not really. You won't know unless you sing and play guitar at the same time and do it on a stage. So so please have that in mind, fans of Paralandra, when you see Paralandra, because it is not a joke.
It's pretty fun. I put a lot on autopilot. I think we all do. So, but that comes with tons and tons of practice. So it's always a work in progress.
The only way to do it. Practice all the time. So boo 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 and favorite stage wear.
Oh, favorite stage wear. I pretty much always go to some kind of black leggings or like, you know, Spanx type pants just because they're comfortable. And I like to be able to just like stretch and move around and kick and stuff. I always thought that it was cute, like when girls would wear like the studded skirts and stuff, but like I like to do so much like actively in the show that like dresses and skirts don't work for me. So I always go for a comfortable pant and then some kind of awesome pair of shoes and a breathable top with maybe a leather jacket or something.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have your layers and your options if like, I don't know. I think that it was somebody was telling me that they did one of the cruise ship performances and they're like on the stage on the cruise ship, but it's like in the Caribbean. And so they're like sweating bullets, but they're in a leather outfit. And I was like, ooh, note to self, have options.
Seriously, I mean, I think that's why I like consistently always wear crop tops, because I just get so hot and like I don't want sleeves, and like I basically just want to wear my bra. Like that's it, which is like what I work out in. So like I think that's what I'm trying to do, but maybe with a little more color and style.
Bravo. And, what is a performance memory that you will never forget?
Oh, the first one that just popped in my head was oh crap. Now multiple are popping in my head. So 2022 Rock Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin is by far one of the most memorable. It was like a packed, I don't know, over 2,000 people or something. And we got to play like a whole, I mean, hour and 15-minute set, which I was not expecting because we were playing with like Lita Ford and Warrant and Firehouse and like all these huge bands. And we were kind of just the opener. So I was like, oh, we'll play for like 30 minutes. But then we got to like play a whole headlining set. And people just loved it. And the longer we played, the more people packed in there and the more energy it was. And by the end of the performance, it was just on fire. So that was one of the coolest moments of my life. And then just recently, at our album release show here in our hometown, Springfield, uh, we, I mean, we were recording a music video that night. Like it was the album release show. It was the first time we had played at home in like, I don't know, 6 months or something. Uh, but it was just crazy. Energy was through the roof. And, you know, we were there with friends and family and these close musician acquaintances celebrating something so exciting. And that was really memorable as well.
Oh, love that. Do you have any new announcements for us?
Why, yes, I do. So, I actually have a new album coming out later this year with George Lynch, and I don't have info as far as the timeline at the moment, but
Nobody knows. Yeah.
that is, yeah, that is some really exciting new news in my life. And the album is written, and it's probably some of my favorite songs I have ever written. I'm like so proud of myself. And yeah, I can't wait till it comes out. So that's something new for everybody to look forward to.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Yeah, nobody ever knows what the timeline really is. It's like you could say like a season or a year, and then
Right.
maybe you'll know then, but you never know what's gonna come up. Like for like I don't know, like when you're like talking about, oh yeah, we're in recording now, and then you have friends that don't do music and they're like, oh good, so it'll be out in like what, a month? And you're like, "Mm."
No. Like, will I even have my songs in a month? No.
And
Like,
like wait a minute, like you're completely forgetting about all the things, all the like snags and hoops that I'll be jumping through until then. So feels
yeah.
like a lot. Okay, how can we listen to your music and follow what you do?
You can find Paralandra's music, the Life Project music, anything that I've been a part of on Spotify, Apple Music, you know, Google, Amazon, anywhere you listen to music, we'll be there. And then, of course, you can follow us on social media. We are pretty ridiculous as far as the Paralandra page goes. So if you want laughter and entertainment in your life as well as music, give us a follow. And yeah, we're just on all the social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and if you want some highly entertaining music videos, definitely go check out Paralandra on YouTube.
Ooh, excited for that. All right, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time and your great stories.
Thank
And
you so much for having me. Great
yeah,
question.
oh, thanks. My pleasure. And I will hit you up on Instagram and get you and Lorraine. I mean, you're gonna see her anyway, but drop you guys in a chat together. So thank you,
Sweet.
Sandra.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.